Hello and welcome to this tutorial on how to use JMPPro for problem 4.6 in your assignments this week. This is for chapter 4 and this is the first problem. So the first problem is 4.6. First thing we need to do is save this data file and then load the data file. So the name of this data file is FBS, and you can see I've already got it here, so I'm not going to save it again. Then what I need to do is move over to JMPPro. And so I've already got that open here. I gave a tutorial on how to go about installing JMPPro on your computer. First thing you need to do is you'll need to go under File, you'll do an Open, you'll find the folder where you saved your data file. This is it. I'll click Open, and then it's asking us, do you like the way this is set up? That is, the worksheet contains column headers, so yes, that first row is our field names. We're going to leave that alone. We'll click Next. We'll leave all those options alone. We'll click Import, and now we have the data imported into JMPPro, and we can start to do different things. So in a previous tutorial where I went over the appendix for using JMPPro for k-means, I showed how to do that. So you might want to make sure you don't jump too far ahead. So we've imported this, we've read the directions, we know that this is the football bowl subdivision level of the National Collegiate Athletic Association. There are 100 schools and some different information about those schools. It's important that you look at your data, look at what type of data it is. Nice thing about JMPPro, it actually tells you over here to the side what kind of data you've got. It will change different markers here when you look at, look at school here. So that's not going to be numeric, and then the rest of them are some type. So if I click on that, you can see, click onto the side, it actually tells me this is nominal data. And if you needed to change it, you could. You open that back up. This is continuous data, and so on. So in the book, or in the Mind tab, it's telling us what we need to do in terms of setting this up. We're going to do k-means cluster analysis, and so we'll go under Analyze, we'll go under Clustering, we'll find k-means cluster. It is telling you how to set things up in terms of these columns scaled individually. So answering that first part, when we look at the number of counts, it says choose the correct option for the smallest cluster. So that would be 1, 5, and 9. And then it wants to know what's the following is the least dense cluster. And I believe because we haven't been able to do that Johnson transformation, it's going to give you different answers for that one because of how it was transformed. So I chose cluster 8, which is not exactly what I would have done. Typically what I would have done is when we look at the data and the distances, I would have copied, well, you can't see it, hold on one second. I would have copied this last two columns, cluster and distance, into a spreadsheet and then created a pivot table. And then from the pivot table, I would have, show you how that's done. So I just put clustering as my rows and then the average distance. Now when I put distance in there from up here into that pivot table, I actually had to change it from sum to average. When I did that, then it gives me, here is my cluster, what's the average distance here? So typically I would have picked this one as the least dense, but I think the Johnson transformation, which it's not showing up in JMPPro anymore for that. And so I'm giving you the answers, but I would just want you to see how this works in JMPPro. Then the last item that you could actually fill in would be part C, is which of the following is a dominating factor, and clearly endowment is. You can see here the larger numbers that endowment has in all of the different clusters. And that ends the tutorial for that first problem here.